Hey team, it's Kelsey. Today's training is going to be on building your own miracle morning and the importance of that. So if you don't know much about me, I've always struggled with mornings. I've never been a quote unquote natural morning person. Like it's just not my natural nature. If you know, I was a nurse before coaching and I worked the night shift. So for me, it was easier to stay up all night long than it was to wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and get my day started right. But I'm learning the power of mornings, and I just wanted to share this with you because I feel like it's very, very powerful, and it's very, very important to create the miracle morning per se. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining, girl. Hey Emily. So anyways, I just wanted to start by sharing why the miracle morning and creating your miracle morning is important. If you're a mom, you don't want to get woken up by your kids. It just starts your day off crazy. You're not ready. You're not mentally awake. You don't have that time to yourself, okay? If you're not a mom and you were like me before, the reason it's so important to start your day and your morning right is because it sets the tone for your whole day. And you don't, like, if you're like me and you wake up at like 7, I feel behind. And you hear the quote, like the early bird gets the worm, and it's true. So it's so important to not only just like have a set time that you wake up every day, but that it's also really important to have a system and how you get your day started right. So, so important. So in my book, he talks about, and I feel like this is important if you're not a morning person like myself, I feel like this is important to know. So he talks about how your mornings are very much like a person starting a new diet or starting to work out. How like it's really hard in the beginning, and how your tendency is like you get on this like motivation kick and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna wake up early. Kind of like people are like, yeah, I'm not gonna eat cake for a whole 30 days or whatever, if cake is their weakness. And how it's very much so like you have really great intentions, but then when like your alarm goes off in the morning, you're like, yeah, just kidding, I'm gonna hit snooze. Like it's okay to hit snooze. Kind of like the same person is like, what's one bite of cake really gonna hurt me? And then before they know it, they've eaten the whole piece of cake, or they've had 2 pieces of cake, and they just kind of go back into that cycle. And then you beat yourself up and you're like, dang it. So it's normal. He was telling me in the book that and I feel like he was talking to me directly, it's normal to feel that motivation and then to feel like in the morning, like, just kidding, I'm going to hit snooze. And so there's some tips that he gave to really change the way you think about mornings. And so part of that is people, you don't realize it sometimes, but the way you talk to yourself before bed, have you ever noticed like the last thing that you think about before falling asleep, sometimes you dream about? I've done that. So a lot of times people, they think these negative things about, oh, the morning's going to come, I'm going to be so tired. Oh, if I go to bed now, I'm only going to get 6 hours of sleep. Oh, if I go to bed now, I'm only going to get 5 hours of sleep. Like for me, it's like, I wonder how many times the twins are going to wake up tonight and see how exhausted I am the next day. Like it's these negative thoughts that you tell yourself before you fall asleep that you end up thinking about either throughout the night while you're sleeping, or those are the very first thoughts you think about when you wake up. So if you're having like these negative thoughts before you fall asleep about being tired the next day, when you initially wake up, you're first going to think, I'm so tired, like, because that's what you thought about right before falling asleep. So he gave these like bedtime affirmations that you do right before going to bed. And of course it feels cheesy and it feels fake and it feels like whatever. But the point is to really change your mindset, just like Aaron said. Yes, to change your mindset about mornings and to say, I am so excited to wake up early because I'm going to be productive. I am going to get 6 full hours of sleep and I'm going to feel really energized tomorrow. And really think and say those things over and over and over every single night and eventually you're going to start to believe it. And you're going to be like, I really can't. And you're going to fall in love with mornings. So his point is that first 10 days is rough. Like expect it to be rough. It's going to be so hard to wake up, especially now with the time change. But it's going to be extremely rough and hard. The next 10 days is going to start to get a little bit easier, but it's still going to be hard. And then the last 10 days, you're going to start waking up and going, I don't even feel tired. Like, this is amazing. And then you kind of create this expectation for yourself that you enjoy mornings, and that mornings you feel more calm and relaxed when you get up earlier, and that you feel like it sets the tone for the entire day. It sets your mindset for the entire day, and you just get excited. So my challenge to you is this. To make, it doesn't matter what time it is. Maybe 5 o'clock is early for you. Maybe you have to get up at 4 a.m. Maybe it's 6 a.m. It doesn't matter the time, but it matters the mindset that you have the night before, and it matters that you stay consistent, and it matters the process that you take in the mornings. Like, you need to create a system. He talks about a system for your mornings. That way you begin to not have to think about what you're going to do. You just kind of do them and you enjoy them. So, and it's going to look a little bit different for everybody, because some people can wake up and work out right away. I am not that person. I have to wake up a little bit. I like to feel naturally awake, not having my workout wake me up. I like to wake up first and then work out. So everybody is so different. Yes, Emily, mindset is so crucial. So crucial. So finding that system for you is going to look a little different. So what I do may not necessarily be what you do, but to know that that's okay. And so it sets the tone for the day. We talked about bedtime affirmations, and then I'm going to talk more in depth, but about how you wake up every morning and how you have that structure is called self-leadership. And you have to be able to lead yourself before you can lead other people. And so that's another reason why mornings are so crucial and so important. So I have a little whiteboard over here, so I just don't want to forget to say anything about the topic today. So then, in case you want to know my schedule, I did post it last week with my morning affirmations. So you can check that out. You can save it. You can change it. But the book that I'm reading is specifically for network marketers, and that is what he said. And I just tweaked some of it for coaching. So you're more than welcome to use it. You're more than welcome to tweak it. Yes, Angie. See, I like to see, and I don't read. I listen to my audiobook, but I listen to my audiobook and I take notes at the same time, and that like energizes me. That like pumps me up when I do that. So, so in case you want to know my particular morning routine and what I have been doing, so he talks about ways to wake yourself up in the morning is to immediately pop out of bed, setting your phone across the room or at a place where you have to get up and not hit snooze. Because if you're anything like me, you hit snooze in your sleep or partially in your sleep and you didn't even realize it. So set your phone like away so you have to physically get out of bed to turn it off. The next thing is to immediately go brush your teeth and wash your face, because those things will wake you up. Then drink a full glass of water, because half the time why people feel tired in the morning is because they're now dehydrated, because they've gone that stretch of time without drinking any fluids. And half the time you're tired because you're dehydrated. So it's really important to drink that glass of water. So what I do is I literally get out of bed, I brush my teeth, I have this thing. And I fill this the night before. And it keeps, like, I put ice and water in it, and it literally is cold in the morning. So I get up, I brush my teeth, and then I drink one of these. It's 20 ounces of water. I drink one of these immediately. And then I go make my coffee because I need coffee in the morning. So that's what I do. And while I'm drinking and sipping my coffee, I'm making my bed, because I'm a person that if my bed is made, I'm less likely to crawl back in it. So I make my bed immediately. And then so my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. By 5:20, I allow myself that time to drink my coffee. 5:30, I sit in silence and prayer. So he talks about silence and how you can use silence for prayer. You can use silence for meditation. There's different ways that people do it. For me, it's prayer, and I like to spend that time in gratitude. That's my routine. So I start my day that way, and I just really pray that God blesses the business and blesses what he's done and how he's working through all of you guys and creating a new life for you all, because coaching can do that, right? And then I also pray that he blesses our business by allowing specific people into each of our businesses, the right people, the people that are going to be able to connect with you, connect with me, and they'll just feel like the family that we never had, right? And so those are that's how I spend my silence. And then I move into my morning affirmations, then I move into visualization, and then I do reading and scribing. So my reading is actually listening to personal development, and then I take notes. These are actually my notes that I took while I was listening. That of things, not like taking notes like I'm going back to school, I mean in a way, but more or less like taking notes on things I need to take action on. Because so many of us, including myself when I started in coaching, I would listen to all these audiobooks and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. Oh, I'm going to have to do that. Another really good idea, right? And I would listen to it and I'd be like, and I did nothing. Like I always thought all these were really good ideas and then I didn't take action and then I would read another book. So the key in personal development is to take action. That's how we grow. Like you don't grow unless you personally take action. You can learn about it, but unless you take action, you're stuck. Okay? So my whole thing is when I'm taking notes, I'm saying this is the stuff I'm going to do. And I block off time to take action in those areas. Or I think, okay, how does that relate to me in my business? And what can I do today to make steps forward? Okay, that's key. So I read and scribe, and then 6:20, 6:30 is usually when I start my workout. So I've gotten the schedule down with the girls, the twins, of kind of when they breastfeed. And I know that they usually breastfeed between 5 and 6 a.m., and they breastfeed for like 15, 20 minutes. I've gotten really good at tandem feeding. Dance party for that. Well, actually they have. They've gotten really good at doing it too. So the three of us have rocked it. And so I know about approximately how long that takes. So that usually falls within my affirmations, my visualization, or my listening to my audiobook and my notes. So I can do all of those things while I'm nursing. Like it doesn't matter. Like I can do all of those things. And I know about 6:30, I can start my workout at that point. And so that's how I do it. So I start my workout at that point and then I get ready for the day immediately following. So that's my morning routine. So that brings me into my next point is the savers. He talks about the savers and how those are the things you want to do in your mornings, okay? So I don't care if you work full-time. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't care if you work part-time. I don't care if you work the night shift. Whatever your morning looks like, if it's working nights and really your morning's like 3 in the afternoon, have it be a 3 in the afternoon. Like it doesn't matter. And the thing too to note is that I have time blocked off for these things, but he was talking about in the book, if you only have a minute to do, you can do a 6-minute savers. A minute for each of those activities. And it still sets the tone for your day. So there's no excuse why you can't do this. No excuse. If you can only do 6 minutes a day, do 6 minutes a day. Okay? There's no excuse. You can do it for an hour. It's all in what you are going to put into it that you're going to get out of it. And if you only have 6 minutes a day, hey, it's a start. You're still setting the tone for the day. So I just wanted to say that. So S is for silence. We talked about that. Prayer, meditation. A is for affirmations. And like I told you, I uploaded in Real Women Conquer the affirmations for network marketers, and I tweaked it for coaching. You can add things to it, you can subtract things to it, totally your call. The next one is V is for visualization. Here's the thing on visualization. So many people think that visualization is actually like picturing themselves walking across the stage at Summit, or picturing themselves retiring from their job, or picturing themselves, all those other things that can happen, building their dream home, buying their dream car, whatever it is, right? While that is a form of visualization, yes, your brain's going to go, well, that's a lie. Like immediately, that's a lie, because you haven't achieved those things yet. So the key in visualization isn't visualizing your success. It's visualizing the actions that you're going to take that day to get you there. So overall, that's your vision probably, to be able to retire from your job, make a certain income so you can do that, or so you can take your family on a vacation. That's your vision of where you're going with the business. But in your visualization period, it's the actions that you're going to take that day to move you to that direction. So you're visualizing the conversations that you're having on Facebook and how confident you're going to speak to people about the business, right? You're visualizing your killer workout and how you're going to feel when you're done. You're visualizing the actions and how you're going to handle objections. Like you're playing those conversations in your head. You're visualizing your to-do list being checked off, that new business activity tracker. Aren't you guys all excited about that? So you're visualizing that whole thing being checked off, okay? That is visualization, because those actions that you're taking throughout the day will get you to your overall vision, okay? So V is visualization. E is exercise. How cool is it that we work for a company who is exercise, is home fitness, and part of the savers is exercise? Right? Mind-blowing. So if the morning time isn't like your time to work out and do your 30-minute workout from 21 Day Fix or whatever, to do like a walk around the block, or to do jumping, like 10 jumping jacks, or find a 1-minute workout from Pinterest, and at least just get your heart rate up for that 1 minute to kind of set the tone for the day. And then you can do your workout later, or whatever fits, how it fits into your schedule. R is for reading. So that's your personal development time. That's, whether you're reading a book that day or listening to the National Wake Up Call, which, hello, if you're not getting on the National Wake Up Call, you're missing a huge piece of the puzzle. These are top coaches giving us information. I always tell myself this: if I knew that topic better than the person on the National Wake Up Call, they would have asked me to do the training. I heard that from Michelle Myers, and I was like, yes, she's so right. If they're doing a topic over recruiting, and I was the top recruiter, they would have had me speak on that National Wake Up Call, not them. So I need to be on that call so I can learn those top tips, right? So whether it's National Wake Up Call, your personal development book, listening to a training, whatever it is, that is your reading time. And then the last thing is scribing. So journaling, you can write down things that you're grateful for. For me, that's when I'm taking notes in my book and I'm saying these are the action items that I'm going to do to move forward. Let's see. Angie says I started 15 minutes before my boys workout. Yes, exactly. Okay, so those are the savers. So I'm going to repeat them really quick. Savers is like the acronym. So it's silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and then scribing. And I already broke down my morning rituals, my routine there. So then the next thing I really wanted to touch on is self-leadership and how important that is in your business. Self-leadership, you're going to attract what you put out, right? And how I always think of it, it kind of jumps onto that, what am I trying to say? Like Amber talked about it last week, like, you need to act like the top coach. If you're pushing for diamond, you need to act like the diamond coach that you're striving to be. If you want to be a 2-star diamond coach, you need to act like the 2-star diamond coach, because when you act that way with confidence, and you will recruit people that want to do the business that way. You got to get out of the mindset that I'm only emerald, or I'm only coach level, or I'm only diamond. Get out of that mindset. You have to model the people in the business that are successful in the business. You have to model what they're doing. You want to be a 2-star diamond? What are 2-star diamond coaches doing that you're not doing, and fill in those gaps, okay? You have to do that. Yes, Jessica, read the book. So good. I think a lot of times people, he talks about in the book, they live in the rear view mirror syndrome. So that's what's holding you back from getting up in the morning, from rank advancing, from all these other things, is because you're looking behind you and you're going, well, it didn't work last time. Last time I tried to wake up in the mornings, it didn't work. You look at your failures, and that's holding you back, instead of saying, you know what, did you know that where you are today was from what you did yesterday? So if you want to go somewhere else forward, you have to be the person that you want to be in 2 or 3 months from now. You have to be that today, because where you are today is only a reflection of what happened in your past. So don't live in your past. Look forward and project to yourself where you want to be and who you want to be. So that's a form of self-leadership. And your team is only going to be as strong as you are, right? So you have to be that. Something that we talked about this in our John Maxwell mastermind that we did, is a lot of people use the phrase, can I do that? Like you see a diamond coach, or you'd see a 15-star diamond, and you're like, can I do that? And that creates subconsciously self-doubt. Instead, I challenge you to change that phrase of can I do that to how can I do that? Because when you think to yourself, how can I do that? That's training your brain to reach out into the creativity part and to figure it out. Our brains are wired that way. When you ask yourself, how can I do that? You automatically start brainstorming of ways that you can do that. So how cool is that? So instead of saying, how can I do that? It's how can I do that, okay? And then the big thing in self-leadership is to take 100% responsibility for your own business. 100% responsibility. Don't blame anybody. Don't blame your success partner. Don't blame your upline coach. Don't blame your challengers. Don't blame your team. Don't blame anybody but yourself. You are in control. You are 100% responsibility. If you want to achieve diamond in 2 weeks, you can do it. Reverse engineer the goal and make it happen. You're going to have to talk to a lot of people. You can do it, right? Same is true for end of year. If you want to end 5-star elite, you can do it. Reverse engineer your goal and figure it out. But don't blame your team for where you ended up. Don't blame that. Like if you want to end in the top 10, you can do that. Don't blame your team. You got to find the people. You got to find the runners, right? That goes back to I had a note on this, I promise. Oh, you need to be your biggest cheerleader and your own coach. You can't always have somebody guiding you and coaching you along the way. So that goes back to taking 100% responsibility. He says that in the book. Take 100% responsibility, because this is where a success partner is really key. You're only one person. Like two brains are so much better than one. So find that person that has the same goals as you and is taking action, because there's a lot of people in the business that have high goals, but their actions do not align with their goals. They don't align. You say you want this, but you're acting like this. Like you say you're this and you're this. So find somebody that is their actions are aligning with what their goals are saying, and team up and go for it together. That's so, so key. So that's it on self-leadership. There's always a way when you're committed. You have to stay committed, okay? The difference between interested and committed, in case you're wondering, interested is saying, yeah, that's intriguing. I'm going to do that when it's convenient, when my kids aren't sick, when my kids don't sleep, when my kids are sleeping through the night, cause my house is loud because my kids are there. I'm using kids because I'm guilty of using kids as my excuse, which I'm not anymore. The other thing is like, oh, you know, I'm slammed at work right now. I just don't have the time. So that's interested. Those are the qualities when you're interested in coaching. That's the actions that you're going to take. You're going to use your kids as an excuse. You're going to use being busy as an excuse. You're going to use being tired as an excuse, right? When you're committed, you're taking those things that you're saying about your kids and you're putting it into being the reason. This is the reason I'm doing the business, is for my kids. The reason I'm doing this business is because I'm tired. I want to create a life where I don't have to, wake up at 5 a.m. or I don't have to do all these things. I want to create that life, The reason that I'm doing this business is so, turn those excuses into the reason that you're doing it. That's so, so key. Boom. Last topic that I have for today. I have no idea what time it is. I hope I'm not going over. Is creating systems. And systems are so important when you are creating this life, right? You need to have systems for everything that you're doing in this business. And part of that is time blocking. So you'll hear us talking about time blocking. And this is true. It doesn't matter, if you work full time or you stay at home, or if you do this 2 hours a day, if you do this 1 hour a day, if you do this 4 hours a day. Like, it doesn't matter. It's time blocking. It's taking this time and saying, okay, in these 15 minutes, I am going to stay focused in these 15 minutes, and I'm going to put out my invites. In these 15 minutes, I'm going to stay focused, and I'm going to do my follow-ups. In this 15 minutes, I'm going to check in with my challenge group. And it's not like trying to do all of this. And okay, so I think as coaches, we have this tendency to like open up our Facebook inbox and reply to messages. That's living in reactive mode in the business. That's not going to grow your business. You have to be proactive in this business. So to be proactive, you have to think, okay, what are the names of the people that I'm going to follow up with today? what are the names of the people that I'm going to invite today? And you do those things first before you tackle your inbox. So that's being proactive in your business versus reactive in your business. And it's so key to block off those times. I will say this too. It's also so important to block off time for things that bring you joy. Okay? So many times in this business you hear of people saying, oh, I reached burnout, or oh, I got so exhausted. Like I just had to take off this month. Okay? The key is figuring out what brings you joy and doing that at least one time a week, okay? So, and that's going to look different for everybody. For me, it's spending that time one-on-one with my husband, even if it's just going to the grocery store, even if it is driving around, which we do sometimes, even if it is going to sometimes we do morning dates and we'll go get coffee, or, maybe we'll wake up early and just spend that time drinking coffee on our couch. That brings me joy. Maybe for you, it's watching dirty reality TV show or something, and you do that once a week. Figure out what really rejuvenates you and brings you energy and makes you happy, and do that once a week. That will prevent burnout for you, okay? So for me, like I was saying, we have scheduled monthly or weekly date nights and then family nights. That's what I do. That's what I do to that brings me joy. And date nights don't always mean a night out on the town. Like I said, sometimes it's just coffee on the couch where we chat, okay? So that's very, very key in bringing you joy, and to prevent burnout. But create systems for everything. Make a schedule, like I said, of when you're doing things. And something that has worked really, really well for me is to create this EOD. And you're probably thinking, what's that? End of day report. And what that is it's kind of what Jen Crowder talked about on her chat or on her live training the other day. But it's where you look at everything that you need to do that day and you prioritize the things that are income producing. And you do those things first for the next day. So you look at, you kind of, you're subconsciously telling yourself what you need to do the next day, but you're already prioritizing it. So you don't have to think that through the next day. And it prevents you from going in reactive mode, right? You're more proactive that way. So the EOD, end of day report, is just making a list of everything that you need to do the next day and then prioritizing it with income producing activities first. That's inviting to the business. That's following up about the business, right? Those things are that's also inviting to, challenge groups. It's inviting, right? It's inviting. And it's following up. It's following up with people. It's going to produce income for you, but it's also going to help those people, right? It's going to help them if they want in the business, to help them retire from their jobs. This business is a gift, okay? But you have to do those things first. Otherwise, those tend to get put on the back burner because they're usually the most scary things. And then you're in the business a year and you're like, this doesn't work. This is a scam. It is not. It's because you didn't do the income producing activities, right? You didn't do them. No. So that's why you do those things first, okay? Oh, last thing. I was looking at my notes. Last thing that I wanted to say, and then thank you guys. Thank you for the 21 people still on my training. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is putting your phone on Do Not Disturb. So I used to put it on airplane mode, but I've learned that if my daughter's in preschool or if I'm at a coffee shop or whatever, that I put it on Do Not Disturb, because you can actually say, well, it's not going to send text messages. It's not going to send phone calls to my phone unless it's my husband, unless it's my daughter's preschool, right? Those would be more urgent things that you would want to know about, right? So putting your phone on those, because that limits your distractions. Our brains are wired to think. They hear a ding or a vibrate or something and you're like, oh, what is that? And then it takes your brain time to regroup and go, okay, what was I doing? Where was I at in this conversation? I was going to say something really good and I can't remember, right? When you have those types of distractions, it distracts your brain, and it takes you longer to get through your messages or to get through your invites or whatever it is that you're doing. So putting your phone on Do Not Disturb is so, so key. Okay, that's all I have. You guys have any questions? I'm glad that you needed to hear that, Kathleen. Yay! Yes, exactly, Hillary. You know, we ask our challengers, we ask our boot camps to be committed, so we need to be committed too. Exactly. Okay. Well, guys, I don't think there's any questions. I'm so glad that this was helpful. I really I highly recommend the book. I'm not even halfway, I'm a little over halfway through it now. But I mean, it was so good. I was like, I have to share this. I have to share this. This has been mind blowing for me. So I hope that it was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be looking back in the live video. Let's see, which Miracle Morning, the main book, or the one for network marketing? The one for network marketing, because he gives so many examples of top producing network marketers and what their Miracle Morning looks like. And so you can kind of take bits and pieces. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. That works for me. And it's a really good perspective from it that way. I really, really encourage that one. Yeah, so no, posting counts. Posting is part of, like, you know, that's where you would want a time block, and you would want to say, okay, in this time block, I'm going to plan 2 posts that are going to go out tomorrow, right? And so you're going to plan those, so that all you got to do is copy and paste them, or schedule them if you have a light page, or whatever it is, however it works in your schedule. But it's very important in growing your business. That's, you grow your network that way, and how you grow your network, and how you can invite more people. So posting is very, very crucial. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, and it's Monday, so let's finish the week out strong, right?